And little Caylee, was being a 2.5-year-old and acted up, and I was like, be quiet, I want to go do something, and Grandma's tired of taking care of you, and just be quiet. I don't think she did it on purpose. I think it was accidental, and one thing led to another. Just trying to quiet her, and then, it was like...
Go from that, though, to dumping the body.
Well, she had a lot of anger in her because she had been fighting with her mother the previous week. We had picked up on that, and that had come out that Cindy and Casey had been fighting, and basically take responsibility, and you get these vibrations. But when people ask us questions, usually it's about a missing person, or it's about, where somebody's at. And we start getting visions of if they're dead or alive. Then we start seeing scenes in our head or visions, and then we try to put a location to it. Like if they say it's, Florida, then if you feel it's near the house where maybe they buried the child, is it something that, a place that the suspect maybe went to and had cigarettes or buried her gerbils or her animals. And then it's basically investigative work, and it's intuition and psychic ability and visions.
Well, let's talk more about, according to you two in this Inquirer article, Casey and Caylee and their struggle here. We'll talk about that next. Also, we'll take your phone calls here at 412-333-PCNC. Much, much more with the Vincent Sisters next. Criminal psychics, do they work? Well, in the case of Caylee Anthony, big news, courtesy of the National Enquirer with us, the Vincent Sisters, who are part of this big article that we've talked about. And I haven't really shared a lot of it with you. Let me go over this from the National Enquirer. Again, this story continues to shock and mortify concerning the death, first the disappearance and now the death of Caylee Anthony. Her mother, Casey's being held. The Pittsburgh-based psychics even predicted accurately that the body would be found inside a black plastic bag along with a blanket. The story continues. Now the sisters have shared with investigators and the Enquirer their chilling visions of the scene where Caylee died, and both agree that Casey did not act alone. Quote, Casey was packing to visit a boyfriend, Suzanne told the Enquirer. Quote, she was in the bedroom of her parents' house with Caylee, who was throwing a fit, not wanting her mother to leave. We believe Casey had been giving her something, cough syrup perhaps, to sedate her, but it wasn't working. Finally, Casey snapped. In a rage, she puts her hand over Caylee's mouth. When that doesn't shut her up, she covers her mouth either with duct tape, later found on the body, or with a pillow. Suddenly, she realizes that Caylee is not moving. She checks. Caylee is dead. She panics. She puts Caylee in a laundry bag and puts that bag in a plastic bag, which she places in the car's trunk. Wow.
That's correct. That's the visions that we feel was little Caylee's last moments.
A tragedy for a young child.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Any remorse that you're feeling from the mother?
No.
No, I think that she is, she sort of like separates herself from what's happened, like it didn't happen. So it's kind of like a strange disassociation.
Sure.
It's really kind of a strange case.
You say in the story she didn't act alone.
No. I think she had help. She feels she had help. I feel it was another male, and another male who may have known but not knowingly, disposed of the body. Maybe she just said, come help me, or just let's go to a location. And then after the fact, it all unraveled, and it was like, I may have been an accessory to a crime here.
What about the boyfriend?
Oh, I feel the boyfriend had some
She
knowledge.
has many boyfriends. Many boyfriends.
Well, variety is the spice of life, so they tell me. We go to the phones at 412-333-PCNC, and we go to Karen. Karen, welcome to Night Talk.
Hey, hi, how are you?
Great.
Hey, I wanted to ask the sisters how they felt whenever they did indeed find the body, where they said it was. How did they feel about that? I mean...
I can answer it. I felt closure for everybody. I felt closure for myself because everyone has been following this story. I felt deep sadness because everyone wants to keep on the back burner that maybe someone has her and then they'll release her. But definitely sad, and definitely now we have closure, and now we need to make that person accountable.
Caylee's became everyone's little girl, and it felt like it was, I have two girls, I felt like it was one of my girls.
Apparently said Casey was everybody's little girl, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Casey was everybody's girl, too.
Yeah.
Wow. You look at the grandparents. They stood by, or the grandparents, the parents, they stood by their daughter through thick and thin. We saw this play out on national TV. The father getting in fights with protesters. You getting reads on them?
He's a little hot-tempered, so the apple doesn't fall far from
Now, wait a minute. I could have said that.
I don't think he believes his daughter did it. I think he believes someone else took her. But now I think his reality is checking in with him. He's starting to look at his daughter like, I actually have a child that committed murder and killed my beloved grandchild. I think that is inner turmoil and pain for him to have a reality check. I mean, a nice, normal family, and what did I do wrong? What did Mom do wrong? And our daughter is killing our beloved grandchild.
Let's go back to the final moments of Caylee. Can you share that with us? Fear, pain?
I feel it was a lot of fear, a lot of pain, unable to breathe, struggling for air. And
It's a beautiful little girl here.
the person that did this to this little girl has no remorse.
Yeah.
The person has no feelings. It was just anger. Things got carried away, went too far. Anytime you put something over a child's mouth, the intent there is they could smother or they could choke and not breathe anymore.
And then the mother doing this, not a stranger.
No, the mother did this. Her
Right.
whole motivation was the little girl was acting up, 2.5-year-old, playing around. Her intent was to go see her boyfriend.
But you go back to the vision you got about the girl, how she died.
I felt that she tried to quiet her, and then, be quiet, I want to go out, and then just to, put her in a sort of a timeout, put a little tape over her mouth. And I kind of think it just went a little too far, and she was still acting up. And to quiet her, to scare her briefly, she put the pillow over her head. But, if you can only hold your breath a minute and 40 seconds, you go longer than a minute and 40 seconds, you have trauma.
Heck, I can't hold my breath 4 seconds. Much, much more with the Vincent sisters next, right here on Night Talk. Stay tuned, everybody.